Do you find contributing to open source projects a frustrating experience because setting up the project locally for development can be a tedious process? Well, let me show you a new tool that I've just discovered that makes this process a lot easier. Microsoft has added Devcontainers to Visual Studio Code. So if you're an avid VS Code user, being able to contribute to open source projects just got a little bit easier. What this means in practice is, rather than having to install all the dependencies that you need to be able to run a project on your machine, instead, you'll have a pre-made Docker file that will run a Docker container for you that has all those dependencies, and then you can just connect your IDE, in this case, VS Code or GitHub Codespaces, to be able to then just start working on the project. This should hopefully relieve some of that stress of getting all the dependencies set up just to be able to make a simple pull request. Let's have a look at a few examples of where this is useful. If you open up VS Code, what we can do is open up the command palette here, like so, and then we can type in Devcontainers. And as you can see, there is loads of different options here for being able to connect your VS Code instance to a container. Now I'm going to use one of the examples. And what I'm going to do here is actually connect to a Python example so we can see this working in action. So what it's going to do now is connect us to a dev container. And as you can see, it's pulling a Docker image now with all the dependencies we need for this pre-made example. So we can see here that this is running Flask, so it's going to run a web server. And we can see that once it's all ready and connected, what we can do then is simply use VS Code's run feature. So if I press F5 on my keyboard like so, now what we can do is now see that it has now started running it, and we can see actually it's running on port 9000. That VS Code is in fact running our Flask app inside of a container, and any changes I make now will be reflected inside that container. I haven't had to install any dependencies, I haven't had to set up a virtual environment, everything is inside of that container. So this means now if someone else wants to contribute to this project, maybe on a different operating system, it allows that environment to easily be portable between those environments. Very, very helpful and really great for open source. Now, Kestra actually supports Devcontainers too. So if you're interested in contributing to Kestra, you can do that too. So let's make a fork of this repository, and then I can use the pre-made Devcontainer example here, which we can have a look at, where the Docker file here is going to install things like Java and Node so that we can run the development tools we need. And then it's going to run those inside of a container, and then we can just get started with running those locally. So when I first open VS Code with the Kestra repository, we'll notice that it automatically detects that there is a dev container here, which is configured using this devcontainer.json file, which basically specifies the Docker file it should use for that development environment and any other things it should know, such as extensions. Now, if I press reopen in container, it's now going to launch VS Code, but connect it using the remote container here. So as you can see, it's connected to the container. And now, if I just delete that, we can see that I'm now connected and I can now start running it. Now let's check that README and see what we need to do to get this to run. Now, by simply just adding an application override file and pasting in this example here. So now that I have the application override added, I can now just run the Gradle run local command, and now it's going to spin up a version of Kestra for me, without me having to install anything like specific versions of Java, specific versions of Node that Kestra uses, and any other dependencies. So now I can just get started with fixing bugs. So if you're interested in contributing to Kestra, you can check out our Good First Issues tag on GitHub, so we can have a look at that while this is running. If you go to issues, you can actually filter by labels, and here we've got a label called Good First Issue. So there's loads of good examples here of issues that will be useful to be able to run Kestra locally to fix, but now you haven't got the hassle of having to install everything and spend ages getting it all configured just for it to run into an error or whatnot. So we can see now that it's just getting itself started up, and then soon we'll be able to log into Kestra. I can also run just the front end for Kestra 2 using the dev container. So here I've just gone into a new terminal, navigated to the UI folder, and just run npm run dev. I haven't had to install anything from npm. I haven't had to install npm in the first place. It's just worked. So now if I was to go to this localhost address and paste that into the new tab here, we'll be able to access Kestra straight away. And here we can see the UI of Kestra is running thanks to the dev container. So now I can make contributions to the Kestra project, fix UI bugs, for example, without any hassle. Dev containers are a pretty cool thing, and I'd love to see more open source projects using these in the future. Let me know in the comments below of other open source projects that you're seeing using these. I think these are a great way for encouraging contributions without the big overhead of trying to get the project set up on your local machine. Can't wait to see more projects use technologies like this in the future.